love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stare, slipping up, don't stare. Turning back, I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah.
Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding a voice in control.
What is going on, Hive? Happy Saturday. Man, I always love the Friday night streams right into Saturday mornings. I feel like we can keep so much momentum. And if you did not tune in last night to the live stream, we went over a bombshell connection that Sluther Dare and Luna Bliss had found out when it comes to Molly, the DoorDash driver, having a son that delivered for Domino's and was a delivery driver, which is rather mind-blowing. So to lay out the stream for today and what we're going to be going into before I say what's up to everybody is this. I'm going to quickly recap what I said last night in 5 minutes, because then what we're going to do is we're going to rewatch some of this footage, and we're going to talk about how this entire night when Steve G, can't even believe that I'm saying this, but again, I've always felt like he's smarter than he comes off on TV, and he's talking with a purpose. He's talking through the screen. When he says they were stalked the whole night, they were stalked. They were clearly stalked. We're going to watch this footage, and I think it's going to be eye-opening, because the way that I interpret this now and all the different people moving around after 103, with Molly's son and what sounds to be 3 other people getting out of the car, vehicles that were there prior, U-turns, random people walking around in the street. The timeline starts to become rather clear. Not a short 7 to 8 minute window, but rather a couple of hours watching, waiting, being ready to pounce, and whatever time the opportunity would arise, I'm sure, to attack them is kind of what we're seeing play out throughout this entire morning. Now that we have a connection and we can hear multiple doors shut, is it Molly's friends being dropped off? And I'm going to be getting into all that, so don't worry. I got a bunch of visuals prepped. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm your host, Birdie. I go live weeknights at 7 p.m. Central or on the weekends, most times Saturday and Sundays, sometime before noon. But welcome to the Hive Mind. This is a contrarian thinking live stream. So we think past the headlines, we question the narrative. The chat is known as the Hive. Again, I get that question a lot. When you say Hive, what does that mean? I'm referring to the chat. It's a Hive Mind. And the chat is a part of the stream. So at any given moment, I can put a comment of yours up on the screen, and it could change the entire direction of what we're talking about, where we're going, how we're thinking about it. And so today, especially, and more times on weekends than on weeknights, the chat is going to be crucial, right? I'm going to really lean into the chat today. But even if you disagree, hang out. We love difference of opinion. We love to think about stuff. We talk about everything. I got the best mods on YouTube being UFO Dog, Luna Bliss, Discord Dawn, formerly known as Beck. They will let you say whatever you want as long as you're not trolling, spamming, or threatening. Also know that if you talk some smack, the chat can talk some smack back, and I reserve the right to do so as well. Nonetheless, let's go and see who's tuning in. I just saw somebody say, Philly Girl just said, hey, Mrs. Birdie. Is Mrs. Birdie in the chat right now? She must be. Let's see if I can find her username. That's my wife. Kitty Climb, how are you doing? Mel, allegedly. Chill Nugget. Tara B. Coco Cash. Linda. UFO Dog. Piruletta. 1122. Visuals Make. Discord Dawn. Luna Bliss. Brandon, good to see you. Happy Saturn Day. UK Karen. Carrie. Beyond Reasonable Doubt. Good to see you. Paul C85. Is that a Packers logo? Go Pack Go. D-Dog Wifey. Terry C. Jenny Girl. K-Kaz Girl. Tracy Murray. 585. What's going on? Tupelo Honey. Old Man Suds. How are you doing? The Cryptid Sleeps. Beyond Reasonable Doubt. I think I already said that, but what's up again? Searching for My Brother. Dina. Birdie BB 23. Discord Dawn. Luna Bliss. Heart of Gold. Twisted Timo. Life of the Party says that hoodie is fire. We got to get this design back up on HiveMindStore.com. Which reminds me, if you guys have not already hit that like button, please go ahead and do so. Oops. You can screenshot this, and then when the live concludes, all you got to do is tap the QR code. That will take you to all the Hive socials, Discord, TikTok, Spotify playlist for the intro songs after many requests, and also HiveMindMerchStore.com. We got This Design's Been Redacted. UFO Dog's been putting up a bunch of new designs for t-shirts. My personal favorite, again, is the We Deserve Better PsyOps. I also like the just a classic logo like this, but we'll get the hoodie design that I got on now back up there. So let's see. Andy, man, God's my sugar daddy. What's going on, Zach? Jada says, go Pack, go. Mommy Milker 69. Tuning in this Saturday morning. Love it. Good to see you, Mommy Milker. Mommy Milker Mindy 69. Sorry. You know what? I got to use like Summer of 69 for an intro song. and I'll just leave all of your comments up, Mommy Milker Mindy 69, throughout that intro. All right, let's get into it, shall we? So we're going to start, as we always do, with the Discord question of the day. Sleuther Dare has been the MVP of the Hive the last 24 hours, so I figured we might as well continue that trend. They are on fire. And Sleuther Dare says, I think this is a great question I never thought to ask. Why didn't they offer a reward for the Idaho 4? And then gives credit to Lana over at Truth and Transparency. Lana's question was, why is the FBI giving a reward for Nancy when they refused to give a reward for the University of Idaho student murders in 2022? And I want to hear your guys' thoughts. That is a great question. Why is it that there are rewards for some crimes, but not others? Especially when you have a victim's set of parents in front of the Moscow PD saying, yeah, we want to hang reward posters. And I get it. The enrollment goes down or you're rushing and you don't want people to see that, but it's still like, who cares? I would look at a university and I'd be like, I don't give a damn about your enrollment. You got an unsolved murder and it's going cold. That's what I would say. Beyond Reasonable Doubt says, because it's a kidnapping, different administration. They didn't want the truth. They weren't high profile enough. It's a distraction. They didn't want the truth. Makes you wonder if anybody would speak up if there was a reward. That's a great point, UK Kaylee. It is a good question. T-Goat 14, I just noticed this, said the T-Goat Award. It could be the T-Goat Award for that comment. Yes. T-Goat 14 gets the T-Goat Award. That's awesome. Wican Moon 0001 says, why didn't the parents put up the money for their kids? And thank you so much, Seems Stable, for the super chat. As a reminder, any super chat over $4.99 will pop up right here, and I will address it. So thank you to everybody that does feel kind enough to donate. This is a free stream. It will always be free. So if anybody feels the kindness in the bottom of their heart to donate, I appreciate that, and I will do my best to address them immediately. Sherlock, what's going on? Great to see you, brother. Curious to hear your thoughts on what I'm about to present today. Bridget Ray says many deaths due to hazing. What's up, Chrissy's Chaos? How are you doing? Good to see you. Kimberly says, just got here. What time did you guys start? About 15 minutes ago. Still in the intro. And thank you so much, Paul C. 85, sending a super sticker with the Packers logo. Shout out to the Packers fans. Christie's Chaos brings up a really good point right here. Where did that just go? Oh, shoot. Where did it? I'm sorry. Wican Moon says, if one of the Idaho 4 were one of my kids, I'd have offered money for information. Yeah. Again, it's just a little bit odd. It seems like everything that would be expected to be normal isn't. And I don't want to laugh. It's just, at what point do we expect it to be the complete opposite and the most insane thinking of what's reasonable and what's not? I feel like in my mind, it's pretty much made up. Pretty much. My mind is pretty much made up that we do need to think opposite about a lot of stuff that was said. So, thank you, Sleuther Dare, for the Discord question of the day. Now, again, Hive, let's all wake up and put our tinfoil hats on. Critical thinking caps. They're synonymous at this point. How is anything a conspiracy in 2026? That's a real question. How is anything considered a conspiracy in 2026. The only people that are saying that's a conspiracy are the reason, I would argue, that these institutions and these people that cover shit up can get away, and it becomes a conspiracy because they can get away with it because of people like that say that's a conspiracy. Blah, 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 blah. I don't mean to mock them with that voice, but it's kind of serious. The only reason why we get into positions that we are in when it comes to the Idaho 4 or other suspect cases is because so many people are afraid to just say, no, what are you talking about? That makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. But not everybody does that. I know we do here in the Hive. And Tranquility Based Productions, thank you for the super chat, says, need to know, Xana needs an autopsy, stomach contents, Domino's order records, who delivered the pizza, who is the, quote, friend Molly said she met up with at Jack in the Box. When did, I could absolutely be drawing a blank on this. When did Molly say that she met up with a friend at the Jack in the Box? Was that in her body cam, like when she was all messed up? It's been a while since I've watched that full interview, or I guess not even the interview, the full footage of her body cam. Is that when it was stated? So Christy's Chaos, thank you, said Molly did say that, and I think that it's Janelle. Okay. But what, was it the body cam? When she's in the back or she's being questioned? If I see the chat's a little bit behind right now. Sometimes that happens. Oh, it was. Okay. I got to go back and watch that. That's very interesting. Twisted Timo says, Birdie, do you believe that it happened in multiple places and was also live streamed? Multiple places, or when I, all right, this is how I will answer that. All right. Multiple places. I believe that some confrontation, something that made people's alarm bells in their head go off that this is not right. It either happened earlier in the night or it happened outside of the house. But I do tend to believe that when it came to the murders, this is just my opinion, I could be swayed, I do think that they all happened inside of 1122. Now, if they started and everything was going on the entire night inside that house, I don't know if I believe that. The live streaming thing, people are going to probably disagree with this. I don't think it was. If it was, I could believe it. I just think that there's a lot of like Fight Club rumors and people thinking they hear Xana's name. I've always said that there was a UFC title fight. People disagree with this. Not that everybody's just disagreeing with me, but I try to have my own opinion, and I hope you guys appreciate that. I don't just, well, yes, I can talk through all of this with you guys. You know, I do have my own opinions on it. I do think that there was a title fight that night for UFC, and one of the fighters was Adesanya, and it would have been on. It was two studs fighting for a belt that night. And I believe that the timing of that would have lined up where if they were streaming the UFC fight on somebody's phone, whether it's on Hulu or whatever they had, people are like kind of faking choking somebody out. And I hear Adesanya, Xana, I don't know. It seems to be a rather reasonable explanation, other than a bunch of college kids are so sick and messed up that they paid $6 to watch their fellow students get murdered. Right? I'm talking only about the grub truck. If there's other aspects of it, I don't know, but the grub truck one always has, that's always kind of stuck with me, that it could have been a UFC fight. And I know that snuff films are big. I know, dude, my X feed is messed up. Okay. A lot of drone warfare, Russia-Ukrainian videos that I've seen that are just like, I'm staring at my phone. I'm like, what did I just watch? So yeah, I know that, stuff like that's out there. Free Ubers for All said, I take this to heart. My aunt was murdered and the evidence got, quote, contaminated. So the man walks free every day, and I have come face to face with him while I was at work at a gas station. So this case will not stop for the truth. Well, I am so incredibly sorry to hear about your aunt. I could never imagine coming face to face with somebody who had killed one of my family members while at work. That is, thank you for feeling comfortable enough to share that. And geez, it's just, there's so many stories like that. It's heartbreaking. Edie says, times, DMs contact, doors shutting, pizza delivery, screams Molly, walking around, pizza ordered, DoorDash ordered. Yeah, we're going to be getting into that today, Edie. I got it all laid out. 1984 says, this case should have never been closed. The DNA of the people that wasn't tested is infuriating to me. Same here. Same here. It's maddening. The only reason why this case is and why we're even talking today is because it's by design. We are not allowed to know the truth. I've said this for a very long time. They don't hide the fact that a murder happened. They don't hide the fact that a crime was committed. What I believe they're hiding is that the message the murder was sending. Because if that message got out, well, then the truth of what really happened would get out. That's why they pick some lone wolf, outsider, stranger, weirdo, as they say in the news. And that's their front man. It's not complicated. And there's a playbook that is ran by the news and by the three-letter agencies every single time they need to cover some shit up. And people fall for the bait every single time. River Bear Teacup says, tinfoil hat theory, Birdie is part of the PSYOP. Oh, yeah? Yeah. I wish I was a part of the PSYOP at this point, because then I would whistleblow and I would tell everybody the truth. At this point, I wish I knew. I really do. So let's get into it. Steve G has said he believes that they were stalked. He said, they're referring to somebody being a pedophile, sneaking up on them in their sleep in their victim impact statements. Although Bill Thompson says there's no connection to the victims. We can't put them in the house. This was not an SA crime. I've gone over that a million times. But last night, after showing what Sleuther Dare said about Molly's son being a delivery driver for Domino's that night, I go back to this question that people have asked so many times. Where were these two? And there was a clip that and if you were on the stream last night, I was rushing around because I wanted to do that stream justice with visuals, with how much work Sleuther Dare and Luna had put in on that. So again, apologies for being late last night. And in the midst of kind of rushing, I forgot to put a clip in that ties into what Xana's mom had said in an interview way back in the day with Jules and somebody else. I apologize, but I'm going to play this because this clip is Kara Kernodle talking about Xana and Ethan and what she believed they were up to that evening. So I'm going to go ahead and play this.
So is that something that he's pretty much kept that he's remembering that, and that's just what it is, and there's no way about it? He talked to her around midnight and her and Ethan were home.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's kept with that or not. I don't speak to him much, but yeah. He was the one that told me about it. He came and found me in Spokane, and before it hit the news and everything, and that's what he told me personally, was that he spoke with her and that, they were at the party and that there was that altercation and, she was fine. She was at home. She was fine.
The altercation. That's one of the things on my little short list here.
I don't know if she ordered food at midnight. I don't know anything about that, but I do know that there was a fight. It's my understanding that they were eating pizza at home. So that's that's a little bit weird to me too, that there was the DoorDash at 4 a.m.
Dude. And again, apologies for not putting that in the stream last night. I texted Luna right away. I said, oh my God, I forgot this part. This is Xana's mom saying that they were eating pizza, that there was a fight, that they were at home, that she talked to her dad. And I don't understand the DoorDash order. It doesn't make sense. Listen to this. And I'm going to try to turn this down because her voice is kind of blown out. So let's see if this helps.
But I do know that there was the fight. It's my understanding that they were eating pizza. It's my understanding that they were eating pizza.
So, I mean, doesn't that line up pretty good? Actually, perfectly? That seems so much better. Oh, and Coco Cash said much better. I can hear her now. Hive, do you want me to replay that? It's only a minute. I'll have it turned down. It was a little bit blown out for me. Do you want me to replay that so you can hear the whole 1 minute and 1 second? I know that when Kara talked, it was blowing out. So if you guys didn't hear it, I can. Okay, people are saying replay it. All right. It was easier to hear, so I will keep it at this volume. Okay.
So is that something that he's pretty much kept that he's remembering that, and that's just what it is, and there's no way about it. He talked to her around midnight, and her and Ethan were home.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's kept with that or not. I don't speak to him much, but he was the one that told me about it. He came and found me in Spokane, and before it hit the news and everything, and that's what he told me personally, was that he spoke with her, and that they were at the party, and that there was that altercation, and she was fine. She was at home. She was fine.
The altercation. That's one of the things on my little short list here.
I don't know if she ordered food at midnight. I don't know anything about that, but I do know that there was the fight. It's my understanding that they were eating pizza at home. So that's a little bit weird to me too, that there was the DoorDash at 4 a.m.
So a couple things stick out to me. Isn't it a little bit strange how I just had to open my window here quick. Isn't it a little bit weird how there are overlapping pieces of every parent, especially Steve and Christy, and then Kara? There was a party, right? Or there was a fight. There was something. Somebody was shot. But what I'm getting at is this. Steve and Christy have said multiple times that they turned the news on and they saw an unconscious person, right? So their niece called them, being Steve and Christy Goncalves, Kaylee's parents, and said, there was a party last night. Kaylee was shot. She's dead. Then they said, well, we were kind of like, that's a little bit weird. On the news, it says unconscious person. Listen to what Kara says here. Kara says, I don't talk to him, but he came and found me in Spokane and told me before it hit the news. So how is that possible? Did anybody else pick up on that?
And that's just what it is, and there's no way about it. He talked to her around midnight, and her and Ethan were home.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's kept with that or not. I don't speak to him much, but he was the one that told me about it. He came and found me in Spokane, and before it hit the news, and he came and found me in Spokane, and before it hit the news and everything.
Right? Isn't that a little bit weird? Because then you have Steve and Christy saying that they found, how fast did he do that is what I'm getting at. That's a great comment. Love and Other Habits. I don't know if he's kept with that. Yeah. These early interviews are so important. They are so important. It's weird. I agree. Right. So was that after the vandal alert or before they hit the news? How? Yeah. How? So that would say that what that would be, if that is true, what that's saying is that how Steve and Christy say that they didn't have anybody from the sheriff's department or the hospital or anybody call them for hours. Remember? That's what they said. They said, we didn't hear from anybody for hours. And then Steve talks about like the protocol is that they don't want to tell people, and then talks about like suicide. I don't really understand that at all. But clearly they called Xana's father, who then went and found Kara in Spokane and told her before it hit the news. So anyways, I wanted to play that. And then this is what is going to be the kickoff of the live dig. All right. So we are going to do a live dig today. And I have the clips pulled up to do so. Now, listen again to what Kara says.
About that, but I do know that there was the fight. It's my understanding that they were eating pizza.
This photo of the Domino's pizza box sitting on the top of the trash and taken out, and it's sitting there. You have a Domino's Venmo transaction. Molly's son, Molly, the DoorDash, right? Molly McMeth, not to be rude, I'm just saying, like, the Molly, her son was a delivery driver at Domino's. He has her listed as her mother on Facebook. That's wild. That is a bombshell. Xana's mom said that she heard there was a fight. Xana's dad had told her before it hit the news, but as far as she knew, they were at home eating pizza. To me, this feels like receipts. Is there a pizza box? Is there a Venmo transaction between a young man and a young girl who are dating that at this point probably don't share a bank account because they're only dating and they're in college, and you would probably split the cost of a pizza? Domino's started delivering pizzas in August of that year. They delivered up until 1 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. 1 a.m. That's when the delivery was closed, after 1. Well, knowing what I just said here about Molly's son, and by the way, Luna, shout out to Luna Bliss, T-Goat Award. How weird is this? Luna looked up the address there at that time. There's no street view available for a random RV park at that address. And when I watch the quote delivery of the Domino's pizza, it looks like a white car. If Molly's son drove a white Elantra and dropped off 3 people, and was he circling, waiting for them to get done, and those are the vulture passes? Then did Molly show up? Dude, we're going to dive into all that. But here's something that I noticed. it's a little bit strange. Look at the car that it uses in front of that address that blurs it out. It's a damn gray Prius. Tell me that I'm not the only one that thinks that that is a little bit either another massive coincidence. But look at this. What are the odds of that? And then in the photos, you see the same damn car with pictures taken of it being the Prius. Yes, the Domino's pizza sign does come on and off. Typically, if you're a delivery driver, you have to have your own vehicle. Exactly. The Gower Mobile. Sherlock said, I bet Bubbly, which I got to get Bubbly on this stream, would have something to say about that missing RV park Street View. That's the park she's always been sus on. I know Bubbly tunes in sometime, but we got to get her on. She's been on it. All right. So now when you go and you look at this, all right, I'm not saying that this is the pizza delivery car, but I'm going to play this. This is at 102. So keep in mind what Xana's mom said. And oops, I got to take my face off the screen. Here we go. And what's important here is, right, 1112 shows the delivery driver pulling in. Listen to how many doors open and then shut. One. Two, three, four. Takes off. You can see the fin on the top. And here it is exiting on 1112. Now, beyond reasonable doubt said a guy walked around the house a minute before. That's what the live dig's going to be about. So this was the recap. All right. Now, it's always, I know that I am not the only person that has a plethora of files and folders saved of video and audio, so many to the point that you even forget you have them. I was looking for something else completely different on Linda Lane, and I forgot that I did this. Okay. I had downloaded this video. This is so long ago, so I don't know whose original video this is. It might be Jeff H's. It honestly might be. That's how long ago it was. And I had put this filter on it to see how many shadows get out. So at 104, this is when you see the delivery driver, or you hear the delivery driver get back in, and you start seeing all of the shadows. Okay. So this filter, you guys need to watch, see my cursor? Watch right over here. So this is a negative night filter, negative night vision filter. So what is dark is light, and what is light is dark. So you should be able to see people's shadows and bodies much easier. And I'm going to play this. Okay. This is 1:04 a.m. Linda Lane Car Park. Do I have that sped up? The audio on this is not what was needed. It is the visuals. So here's real speed. 1. 2. 3. And then the car leaves. I've got a bunch of different filters on this stuff. So again, we want to exacerbate the light. Here we go. I've always said too that I believe on the second person. I've always said that that looks like a shadow from 2 headlights. So I see 2 people and I hear 3 doors. And then they leave. Nonetheless, my whole point is this. When you look at how long it takes from the dominoes to get there, it's about 1 minute. It's literally a minute in a second that it would take somebody on, if you look at Google Earth, right? Let me share this. If you look at Google Earth where they parked, so people said 4, but and I don't disagree that you see 4 shadows. My point is this: if you have 2 beams of light, so these are your headlights. When you cross the first beam, I got to draw this shit. Okay, you got two beams of light that are coming out. This is one. This is how my brain would interpret that. It's the first shadow and the second quickly. That's what I think, because there's two headlights. So they're walking in front of the full front of the car. So it could be two, it could be four. Okay. And yes, I know I am an artiste with my drawing skills. Thank you, Jocelyn. But when you look up 1122, when you look at this, this is present day. Okay, so we are seeing the shadows over in this area. Whether they, actually not even whether, I know they probably went this way. It's so quick. And there's, if you do a 300-foot perimeter, it's like right here. So it's only 300 feet. You hear the door open, shut, go, drop the pizza off, come back, door shuts. Then you hear like other people get out, in my opinion. So that's how my brain interprets that. This is where it gets a little bit strange. Okay. Bear with me. This channel is a little bit different than most when it comes to theorizing. A lot of people want their videos to be perfectly curated, and I have nothing bad to say about that. The way that we do things in the Hive is everything is live. Everything is thinking out loud, whether it ends up being stupid or it ends up being genius. This is a real life discussion with a ton of people. Okay. You see at 102 what is said to be the delivery driver showing up. If it is Molly's son, okay, so there is obviously a very popular theory around the Aryan Brotherhood or the Aryan Knights. Molly, if she's using drugs and is connected, as we know, right? I think that J.M. Bree has done a really good job connecting all that stuff. This could almost combine the 2 a.m. and the 4 a.m. timeline into one giant timeline. Like the act of the atrocity and when they were actually killed. Okay, maybe we don't know, but hear me out on this. If that's Molly's son, and if the multiple doors that we heard shutting were Molly's friends or acquaintances getting dropped off to then go and start stalking the house, maybe the I see you Farley, I see you Charlie, whatever people think that they hear, right? And that's at 102. Does everybody remember this sus ass BMW that shows up less than 20 minutes before? So how much different? That's within 20 minutes. We have this BMW and everybody has said, and I screen recorded this just because that's the only clip part of it that we need, just to remind people. So everyone's like, that BMW has always been sus. That could be linked to said Aryan Brotherhood, Aryan Knights. Well, now when you have the DoorDash show up at 103, but don't forget that, I'm sorry, at 102, don't forget what happens on 1112. Okay, so I know I'm bouncing all around. At 102, this clip that I show goes from the light bulb camera to the car park. Okay, so we're not watching what's happening for 2 or 3 minutes before this Domino's driver leaves. Okay, so now we see at 12:43 the sus BMW. Well, let's watch what happens while the Domino's pizza delivery guy is back on the car park footage. What's happening on the light bulb camera? And I have this car pulling up. You'll see. I have a couple different filters because I need to figure out the damn make and model of this car. So the pizza guy shows up, and then this happens. All while the pizza's being delivered. I have a couple different filters on it. It kind of does look like a Range Rover when it pulls in. Well, and remember, somebody just said it doesn't sound loud enough to be a BMW. This is Outcast video. Thank you, Heart of Gold. This, just don't forget that this time frame is completely muted. Outcast had dubbed the audio in from the car park. So again, people say, oh, they can't manipulate audio and video. Well, it seems like Outcast did, to the point where it just got people that said, that's too quiet. And yet this video is completely muted. Outcast just did that for reference. One more filter. So again, what I have here and what we're going to watch now is Outcast synced the audio from 12:55 on 1112, which is completely muted when Jules and her channel had FOIA requested this. When Jules got it, if I'm remembering correctly, I believe that she did not know it was going to be muted, obviously. I don't think they told her until she played it, if my memory serves me correctly. So this is muted. The audio people were hearing is this bottom part here. And that's what Outcast synced up. So now I want everybody to remember this. 20 minutes earlier, we're going to watch Outcast's video and tell me if from 12:43, when we see that white BMW, and now hearing Kara Kernodle saying, I thought they were eating pizza. We see a Domino's box. We see a Domino's Venmo transaction. We see a delivery driver. Molly's son is a Domino's delivery driver. The last delivery would be at 1 a.m. The pizza's delivered at 1:02. From 1:02 to 1:05, there is all of this sus activity. There's people walking around, walking up to cars. There's a U-turn. People are getting out. We hear how many doors shutting. That is the drop off. Not only are they dropping off food, they're dropping off people. This is the beginning, in my opinion, of the stakeout of 1122 to know when these people were being home. So essentially, that's why the theme is stalked. These people were followed. They were stalked. Nobody was home yet, but they knew that they would be. Or if Xana and Ethan were home, okay, there's an argument for two timelines then. If they were attacked first, whatever it may be, we can go down all those rabbit holes, but wrap your head around, or try to, and I hope I'm articulating this well enough, that sketchy white BMW, Molly's son DoorDash driver, last delivery of the night, Domino's Venmo transaction, Domino's box in the garbage, Mrs. Kernodle saying they were eating pizza and at home between midnight and 1. This activity looks way different. People getting in and out, walking around. This is the setup. This is the stalking of the victims, in my opinion. Now, not everybody on here, I'm saying, is a perp, but the activity makes more sense, and it combines all of the timelines. In my opinion, it does. It would make sense why Mrs. Kernodle is saying that they were eating pizza and why the Chapins are saying 2 a.m. is a dark hour. It would make sense why then the official timeline, if they want to have a narrative that all 4 of them were killed in their sleep, it would have to be when Dylan actually saw somebody in a mask in their house, allegedly. I've wondered for a long time too, Dylan's got that writing on her arm. Was Dylan like tied up and spared because she felt like somebody was protecting her because they knew her? Did they tie her up and did she just hear a bunch of shit after running down into the basement? And I've always said, why is it that Dylan and Bethany get to talk about this crime the way that they do when it seems so sketchy? Well, what if it's the fact that, yeah, they were spared. They were spared. And if we know that they were spared because somebody either had a connection to those two, maybe a boyfriend, then that would completely blow the cover off of the Brian Koberger narrative cover-up. So that's why Dylan and Bethany could potentially be able to be confused, say they were drunk, they don't remember. It's not necessarily lying. It's a tactic of covering up the fact that maybe Quinn being the connection is why they got spared. So my whole point to end this rant is this is now looking to be the beginning of the setup where they are surrounding the house, waiting for their moment to go in. And before I play this, because I don't want to move on too quickly, one's in the chat. Are you following me? Because I think that between the last night's stream at 7 p.m. to right now 11:30, in the last 15 or 16 hours, I believe that we have had a breakthrough in what activity could be and why it is Molly may show up. The other crazy part is this pizza delivery guy that's driving, in my opinion, it looks like a damn white sedan. Could you imagine if Molly's son dropped off pizza, dropped off perps, and we've all said that it's suspect vehicle 1 being the undercover cops? Whether the footage is manipulated or not, my point is this: fog lamps, not fog lamps. Let's keep an eye out for that. That's what, we're going to do a live dig on. But what if it's Molly's son driving around waiting to pick them back up? So drops them off after the pizza and is driving around, can't find them, speeds off. Molly shows up in the middle of all of that because those are her friends and is not lost for delivering the food, hence why they change somebody's profile for DoorDash to give them the excuse. Again, nobody expects a delivery driver to do this. And Molly's not looking for the house. Molly's like, what the hell? My son or somebody was supposed to pick up all of these people. Where are they? And she's looking. She's looking around maybe. And it's an entire couple of hours that plays out right in front of her eyes. That's becoming my new theory. And so, I'll butt heads with people, but I do believe that I cannot be the only person, and in this chat cannot be the only people that are open to hearing everything and then having their own individual thoughts. Okay. My ask is for everybody that's looking into this case, just think about it. Okay. Let's stop being petty. Let's stop turning against each other. It's pointless. It's stupid. We're smarter than that. Who cares if you disagree with what I say? That's fine. Cool. I don't care. People have disagreed with me for a long time on a lot of shit. I've disagreed with a lot of people for a long time on a lot of shit. But you know what? Instead of pointing your finger at me or me pointing my finger at you, how about we watch this damn film and we try to think about, is this a connection that makes all of the activity make sense? And that's the end of my rant on that. So here we go. Shout out to Outcast. Make sure you guys go and give him a subscription. He's always on it with the audio. So here we go. We have 12:55 to 2:55 a.m. We're not going to watch all of the hour and a half, but what we are going to watch is from 12:55, and we're going to watch it until the delivery driver leaves and a few minutes after. Now, last reminder, the audio that you're hearing, okay, and I'm only saying one's in the chat one more time. Type of one, if you understand, the audio is coming from the car park. I don't want people to get confused. Outcast did not fix the audio on Jules' video. The audio is from the car park. It's synced. Okay. That is very important to know. I don't want confusion. I want the chat and everybody to stay focused on this. I think this could be a very, very big and important stream right now. So let's think through Molly's son being the Domino's delivery driver, knowing that Xana's mom thought they were at home eating pizza. We hear multiple car doors shut. Then what happens? And that's as loud as it goes. Okay. So I'm going to turn this up. Let me turn the quality all the way up. Usually it'll let me do way higher than that. All right, here we go. right? Doesn't it seem to feel like there's something going on now, that these aren't just random passes at one? Right? So I wanted to show that because I felt like that completely changes how this all looks. It completely changes how this all looks. And do you know what would really just be absolutely wild is, so we can tie in the dominoes and the rumors with Xana's mother talking about pizza. We can talk about the timeline with she thought they were home. We can see the Venmo transaction for Domino's. We can see the Domino's box. We can see the Domino's delivery driver. We know that that Domino's delivery driver could be Molly's son, who was a Domino's delivery driver, with screenshots. Molly worked at DoorDash. DoorDash shows up later. We hear more than one person shut their car door. We hear like 3 or 4 when the pizza gets delivered. Now, what would put a cherry on top? What would put a cherry on top? Because I believe that that is a lot of rather too much of a coincidence to just be random and be able to be pieced together. Okay, what would be the cherry on top? Well, the cherry on top would be, there's no way that Molly's son has a brother. And there's no way that Molly's other son owns a cleaning business. That would probably be way too much of a coincidence, right? Dude, that is insanity. That is insanity. Professional janitor with 6+ years of experience. I bring my own supplies. He's got a spray bottle and a white. I mean, this is the cartoon he uses. We have Domino's, DoorDash, and cleaning all connected between 1 o'clock and 3, 54, 56, 4 a.m. Boom. Fucking boom. Just, that is, I'm speechless. So we've shown that entire stuff too. This is not even like, people are going to say that's a theory. I would argue I just showed it, not even just me. I refuse to take credit for all of the hard work that people have done. Again, I've said this. I just feel honored to be able to sit here and, again, Lord, make me fast and accurate with my words to portray this and articulate it well enough. And I hope that I've done this, a good service. I have no problem putting the visuals together. You guys can send me this and investigate it, bring me up to speed. I look into it. I add my own twist to it with my own theories and my own thoughts and opinions. But holy hell, this is, in my opinion, this is the best work that the Hive has done. It's absolutely wild. And it also, it kicks the entire night off now if there's that connection. The white BMW, Molly's son being a Domino's driver with multiple people getting out. Then we have stalking, seeing through the windows. It's a culmination of almost all of these theories that we thought were separate timelines. It's not separate timelines, everybody. It's a few hours. That's the whole timeline. The entire timeline is not broken up into two. I would argue it is a 1A, or it's 12:43 from when you see the white BMW until you see the car speed off after the whimper and the thud. That's my opinion. It makes all of the other activity, what the biggest, like, in my own mind, is that it makes all of the other activity with the cars and the people walking around, it makes you be able to almost differentiate, is that an innocent car and innocent people walking around, or does that look a little bit more nefarious now? Right? So the guy that walks up to the car doing the U-turn and all that stuff as the pizza's getting dropped off, right after the pizza guy pulls in. Shit, maybe the flashers were people waiting for the pizza delivery driver to get. I don't know. I have so much digging to do now. But Molly's the DoorDash driver. Molly has a son that delivered Domino's pizzas. Molly has another son that's a cleaner. Xana's mom said they were eating pizza. We see a Domino's box. We see a Venmo transaction. Said that they were home. Dylan and Bethany, if this is what happened and it's a longer timeline and it's not this blitz attack, there is a significant chance, and people can disagree with me, but I'm telling you, Dylan and Bethany are protected. They're protected because they really did witness this shit, most likely. They were either spared because of a connection that Molly might have with said gang, that Dylan might be dating somebody of said gang. Now you want to get even deeper, and I'm going to leave everybody with this because I can't let this part go. This is, in my opinion, how perfect is it that you have Molly McMichaels, who's a drug addict or a drug user, who's friends with Bill Thompson, that just so happens to have a son start delivering for Domino's a few months earlier, that then also has another son that has a cleaning company, who people have said is Molly a confidential informant, who might have ties to said gang that Maddie and Xana's parents snitched on. This is huge. It's huge. Because I think that those dots connect and they line up a shit ton, right? I know Jay and Bree and I have gone back and forth. Nothing but respect for him. The pump sprayer that he said, look at what dude's got in his hand in his own logo, right? Something as simple as this could be that. When we talk about the cleanup, it still doesn't answer how does Brian Koberger come into the picture. I would be curious if Brian Koberger ever applied to be a delivery driver for Domino's. That's what I'd be curious for. Was Brian Koberger, who can't sleep, he does late night drives, maybe? Is he looking for extra cash? Like, is there a different connection now that the door opens up for? Is there something with cleaning? If he's an OCD freak, did Molly's son clean Brian's apartment and take a knife or a sheath? There's so many more questions that now I believe, and I'm trying to not get too riled up when I say this, because I know that this is serious. We can come on here, we can not joke around, but we can have fun with just how stupid the news is being about this. But when it's stuff like this, this is real shit. Like, we're putting it out there. Dive into this, okay? Dive into this. Go rewatch the footage now, okay? I'm going to put all of these full screens so that you guys can have all of the slides, okay? So you guys can screenshot this. Please do not dox anybody on behalf of me. I don't ever want to be associated with that, okay? So I'm going to put a banner up as you screenshot this. So here's one slide. And Hive, with that, please, please, please hit the like button. You know, I don't want to end the stream right now. I want to sit here and let's just talk. So that's the gist of the information. Let me hear your guys' thoughts. Again, I can't give enough credit to you all that tune in. And again, thank you for believing in me and the method to my madness with the theorizing and the asking the questions. I know that sometimes it takes a little bit to get used to this style. I know that it does. I'm appreciative that everybody has stuck that out because I think things like this, they happen by taking this route. And it's not for everybody. Okay? It's not. But I couldn't do it without you guys. And so what are your guys' thoughts? Lavs 525 says, I don't talk in the chats. I listen mostly. Was the car that picked up the guy at the dumpster around 5 a.m., was it a BMW? That's why I put the filters on it. They do blur and manipulate things. And yes, Dylan's boyfriend's dad was an Aryan Knight. Was Brian hired to clean with Molly's son? Who knows? Hannah Wentz says, oops, maybe this is a second comment. I didn't see the first. Oh, Hannah Wentz said, thank you for the videos and the passion and everyone else for the info. I've been watching, first time joining. Well, thank you, Hannah, for tuning in. It was great stuff today. Coco Cash. Hey, let's also do another poll. Type a 1 if you have ADD in the chat. Maybe that's why we all get along so well. Who here has got ADD or ADHD? I'll throw my 1 in there. Maybe that's why we all can hang out and we can just be like, squirrel, scatterbrain. And Riz, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Beyond reasonable doubt, I did check my messages. Thank you for this. This is what prompted me to talk about the cleaning thing. And Vanessa says, hi, Birdie, I'm late. Don't have Discord. Let me know who sings I Got Murder on My Mind. Thank you for all your thoughts on this case. You truly can make a difference. I will show this to people because I get this question so many times. Everybody loves the Murder on My Mind AI version from YNW Melly. And it is this one right here. Oops. Oh, come on. Why is my computer being weird? It is this one right here. Oops. Fuck. Sorry. Damn it. Swear jar. Oh, no. What the heck? What the heck? I'll post a link to it because everybody asks where they can find it. I thought UFO Dog had the link. That is a great song. It's you guys are talking about this one.
I ain't get to roll no weed. I ain't get to roll no swishes. I was locked up.
Yeah, that song goes hard. I got to find the link. Maybe they did remove it. Okay, well, then I will screen record it and I will post it. There, yep, that's a perfect example of ADHD right there, folks. It's the soul version. Creepily Goth says, to be honest, the best theories come from ADHD folks. That's funny. Yeah, there's a lot of ones in the chat. Jeez. Look at us. Somebody said 0.5. It's been a while since I've just hung out and shot the breeze with you guys. But that was a lot of work the last, like I said, 18 hours. So I'm glad that I feel like it's out there. We can run with it now. So yeah, let's chat for a little bit. We got some time. It's Saturday. Dawn says, but we love your ADHD, Birdie. Bondage Barbie says, call me scramble eggs. Jeff and Kim says they gave us all Ritalin. They really did. Thank you, Mark B. No doubt a rendezvous, but how important are those pills to have when you're drunk and fixing to go to bed? As far as the ADD. Yeah, so here's the thing. There's the whole amphetamines in Ethan's system. If you don't abuse Adderall and you just have a prescription of 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 milligrams a day, people say that you could be prescribed up to 100 or up to 80 or up to 90. If you are prescribed that, here's my counter argument, is that you never start at that amount, right? So if you've continued to go up in your dosage, you've probably been on amphetamines, being Adderall or Ritalin or Vyvanse, for a handful of years. So you do have some sort of tolerance built up. So the argument of, well, you know, I'll take 30 milligrams or 40 milligrams and I can sleep just fine and I can eat, but what is the tolerance? So we have to have a baseline of, if the Chapins are saying that their tox screenings came back clear, if he was prescribed Adderall and they just said, well, there's some Adderall in their system, that would be clear. But what is the tolerance of Ethan's body, right? And I don't care. I guess my opinion is that I wouldn't care to argue on body weight, and that if you've never taken amphetamines and you double your dose, or if you've never doubled your dose, you're gonna be awake. So or tolerance does not decrease. Okay, that's interesting. See, I don't know enough about this. I mean, I'm trying to just logically think through, like most other medications, though, they wouldn't start you at 100 milligrams of Adderall a day. I don't think there is any doctor that would be truly diagnosing somebody that would ever prescribe that amount. Can we at least agree on that? Okay, you could, if you're 6'4", and you're 230, okay, fine. You might start at 40 milligrams instead of starting a little lady that's, 130 pounds, right? That makes sense to me if you have different dosages based on that. What's up, Gabrielle Gonzalez? Thank you for tuning in. Glad you caught it live. New Mexico 444 says, Birdie, I'll never forget the rumor from the day that the fight at the Sigma was because Xana flipped out because Ethan was drugged and they were unable to get back home, hence the missing timeline. And, to that comment, I'm so glad that I found this clip. And just Xana's mom is rather telling in this. Let's listen to this one more time.
So is that something that he's pretty much kept that he's remembering that, and that's just what it is, and there's no way about it. He talked to her around midnight, and her and Ethan were home.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's kept with that or not. I don't speak to him much, but he was the one that told me about it. He came and found me in Spokane, and before it hit the news and everything, and that's what he told me personally, was that he spoke with her, and that they were at the party, and that there was that altercation, and she was fine. She was at home. She was fine.
The altercation. That's one of the things on my little short list here.
What time, Hive, refresh my memory. What time did they say that the Sigma Chi party officially ended? Did they say 1? Or I could have swore in some sort of an interview, like they talk about the Sobros, it might be Bethany or it might be Dylan. Didn't they give a time that these parties, don't they have a hard stop? Or am I misremembering that? I'd like to again go and look back at some of this stuff, which, by the way, Hive, don't go anywhere. I have to show you a little bit of a teaser for something, and I don't think that I've shown this yet. This is how we are going to destroy the narrative. Okay, let me find this. We have so many talented people in the Hive. Let me show you. Somebody had reached out with this skill set in this program for an animation. I'm just scrolling through trying to find it now. I got it right here. This is going to have your jaws on the floor. Look at what we now have available to us to counter the narratives. We have somebody. Oops. Oh, come on. It's uploading. Give it 1 second. We have somebody that has the program to do a 3D timeline animation. And let me tell you that when I got sent this email, which, by the way, mods, where are we at on that? It's next week. We're going to chat with them is what they said. We just got to find a time. Okay, guys, this should get you so excited. Look at what we now have at our fingertips. Shout out to, I'm going to keep this person's name quiet just because I guess I didn't ask them if it's okay. But shout out to this person because this is going to blow your damn minds. Look at how talented this dude is. Dude, that gives me freaking chills. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. It's like we finally now have that same weapon of high production quality. And it's going to be great. And now knowing what we know about this damn Domino's driver, imagine what we are going to be able to put out there as an alternate theory. And in addition, I'm more than happy to, this is also something, I'm not tooting my own horn. This is the type of person that I am. if there's another creator that wants this dude's contact information because you have a theory and they would have the time and the bandwidth to put yours out there, I'm not gatekeeping shit. Let's put a shit ton of them out there. Let's let everybody see. Here's the official. Okay. Here's Lana's theory. Here's Pav's theory. Here's Birdie and the Hive's theory. Here's this person's theory. And that is when people will start to realize that you can't F with the people anymore and lie to them. Okay. This is a collective effort, everybody. There's not one person, two people, three people, four people that are going to get this done. Okay? With that, Hive, I hope that gets you excited. Please hit the like button. Check out HiveMindStore.com. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Cheers, everybody.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.